Hey, welcome to another video here on the channel. I'm Kyle with Variety and Airs, and let's talk about all the different graphics, security features, and parts of $5 banknotes so you know what to look for next time you have a $5 bill in your hand, so you don't just go and spend it. You take a look at it and see if you have something that's collectible or rare and that you can resell for a lot more money than $5. Most modern $5 bills you'll see in circulation are going to be Federal Reserve notes from the 2004 design and newer. The series dates for $5 bills are going to be from 2006 to 2021 in 5 different series. The different parts of the notes will start with the seals, being the Federal Reserve System seal, which is a black seal to the left of the portrait of Lincoln, and it identifies the distributing Federal Reserve bank system. To the right of the portrait of Lincoln is the Treasury seal. It is a green seal indicating and representing the U.S. Department of the Treasury, and since 1969, these green seals have utilized an English inscription around the edge of the seal. That brings us to the serial numbers that are printed onto the note. The first letter or prefix letters in the serial number will indicate the series in which the $5 bill is from. The suffix letter or last letter of the serial number will indicate what part of the block this individual note was printed in. The serial number is of course 8 digits, and in this case shows a fancy serial number, which we'll get to in a moment, and those are individual to each one of the notes. Sometimes you'll see $5 bills with a star at the end, and that indicates that that note's a replacement note. Something happened to the original note during production, it was replaced, and they indicate that with a star. Interestingly enough, the serial number for a replacement or star note generally is not the same serial number as the note it replaced. Other features on a $5 note are raised printing similar to $1 and $2 bills as well as other denominations, most notably throughout the portrait of Lincoln, and you can indicate that by feeling across the coat and the tie of Lincoln. The color of $5 bills is also different than that of 1s and 2s and some of the other denominations. The center of the note is a light purplish color and blends out to a gray color towards the edges. Speaking of the edges, thank you to one of my subscribers which has commented about mentioning the microprinting on U.S. Federal Reserve notes, which is a very good comment. Microprinting exists on $5 banknotes as well as other denominations of banknotes. If you look carefully, sometimes needing magnification, I'll link a really good jeweler's loupe that's only $8, and you can buy that with free shipping online, and that way you can see what I'm talking about going forward. But if you look carefully along the edges of a $5 note, you can see that repeated inside the left and right borders of the note, the text $5 can be seen. The words E pluribus unum at the top of the shield is also a microprinting area and will be seen in the Great Seal on the front of the note, and USA is repeated in between the columns of the shield. On the reverse of the note, the text USA 5 appears along one edge of the large purple numeral 5, which you'll be able to see usually under magnification of the note. There's obviously other indicators on the front of the note as well. This would be Federal Series indicators, which is like the series year, which is down here. In this case, it's a series 2013. And you'll also see the plate numbers that were used for the printing of these notes on the front and down here on the back in almost the right corner. There's a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the back of $5 bills, and this has been the case since their introduction and even after the early 2000s redesign. There's also quite a few security features on $5 notes, like a watermark that can be seen through the front or back of the note when you tilt it to light, which is the numeral 5 as well. $5 Federal Reserve notes are always a great bill to look for when you get them in your pocket change, because you can find really good errors on them as well. So let's start talking about those now that we've familiarized ourselves with the different parts of the note. Always keep an eye out around intricate detail, as well as just the general print of the note, like around the signatures, around the design featuring the portrait of Lincoln, and any of the major design features on the front or reverse of the note for major ink issues, print issues, misaligned prints, things of that nature. Also, collectible serial numbers, like I mentioned earlier, this one's referred to as a fancy serial number, as you can read it the same forward and backward, backward to forward, also known as a radar note. These serial numbers can be worth really, really good money. $5 bills like this with a nice serial number that's not only a trinary, but it's also a radar note, can usually sell for good money over face value. I've seen ungraded versions of this type of note sell for close to $70 or $80 to the right collector. Graded really well, which this one's in nice condition, and I kept this one in a banknote top loader, I'll link those also, and kept it in good condition. This one, I think I could probably sell for somewhere around the $60 mark to the right person. Going back to errors though, overall misaligned prints, miscuts, gutter folds, and major errors found on any denomination of US banknote are definitely worth looking for on $5 notes. Also keep an eye out around another anti-counterfeiting feature, which is these repetitious fives that are printed in the area here on the note. That can also have signs of ink issues as well as print issues that can result in making this $5 note worth way more than its face value. Aside from that, good things to look for overall would be major shifts in the seals and serial numbers, which happen during various portions of the printing process. Like I stated earlier, it's a multi-phase printing process for US currency, so it always gives way to lots of opportunity for errors to be found. Now that we've talked about the different parts of $5 Federal Reserve notes, some different errors you can look for, and all the different design and anti-counterfeiting features, hopefully it has rehashed your memory on things to look for, or maybe I've shed some light on some areas that you can research more and keep an eye out for on your $5 bills when you find them in your pocket change. There's tons of errors out there that are worth hundreds and thousands of dollars if you come across them, and that's no exception when it comes to $5 banknotes. Let me know what you think about this video and what you've been looking for in your coin and banknote searches lately in the comments. I can't wait to read about it and talk to you there, so I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.